Hello everyone and welcome to another video and welcome to the Dubai International Motor Show. So today's video I'm going to be showing you all electric cars that are launched in the auto show, and also not just the launched cars but also the already available electric cars that have been upgraded and been launched in the motor show as well. So I'm going to be very quick about this video, and I'm going to be doing a quick glance over all the cars as well, and also there are going to be more videos that are going to be dropping related to the various segments that I'm going to be covering about the different sections of the motor show. So make sure to check them other videos out as well. Anyways, let's have a quick start and just glimpse around all the electric cars. So let me start off with the first electric car from here, which is the super insane Hypercar. I don't know what mental car, but this is the maddest version. Spark is a Japanese company that had been developing for 4 years this car, and they came out with the model called as the OW, Spark OW. And this insane car produces 2012 brake horsepower and 2000 newton meters of torque, and this just weighs 1300 kilograms, I'm sorry. And this just doesn't stop here. It's got a range of 450 kilometers. It has a top speed of 400 kilometers, and are you ready for this? This one acceleration is 1.69 seconds from 0 to 60. I mean, how has this been done? How has this been done? But apparently the company claims that this can be done and this has been achieved, and they've been developing this. Even just check out how cool the car launch was. Like, they got a cool robo, and then the robo was introducing the car and about all the specs. It was a pretty mad sort of kind of car launch, a pretty unique car launch that they had done, and the robo was as an autonomous robo, and then that just goes to show how much the company and the background about it. But then this is a completely carbon tub, and then all of this aerodynamic has been done from scratch. Every single thing, even the wing that you see comes and goes down. But then this will be a mad car to see. They are going to be producing about 50 units, I think, but then they are going to be just making 50, and then that's about it. And then I'm pretty sure these are going to be costing like millions. So the next car that I wanted to talk about was the Nissan Leaf. Now, you've been familiar with the Nissan brand itself, and also I'm sure you would have heard about Leaf. It's been almost 4 years that Nissan has been making these electric cars, and this is the latest version or the iteration of the Leaf version. And apparently they have put up a cool stall out here. So if you can read out here, you have to choose your seat, you have to tap your feet to create the energy. There is a cappuccino that is being made, and that puts a photo of yourself on the cappuccino. So the more you tap, the more quickly you're going to get your photo printed on a cappuccino. Crazy. But anyways, continuing, there aren't about a lot more specs or something that's been put up around on this, but it's just more about the promotions that they are doing. But then I checked out the interiors. They've pretty much done a lot of new stuff with the interiors. It looks pretty premium, pretty plush. Even the design, the wheelbase hasn't changed a lot. It's just the front look and the rear look which has been a little tweaked around, that's it. But otherwise, this is one of the best electric cars currently available in the market. The next electric car, which you can see, is a Mercedes EQC. Now, this is a long-awaited launch that was awaited in the Middle East as well. So they've already launched it in the European regions and the US as well. So this is the fully electric car from Mercedes. Now, this has a range of 471 kilometers. It's got 408 bhp. It produces that much of power. They are electric motors, and the torque is 760 newton meters, although it's got a top speed of 180 kilometers and a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration is 5.1 seconds. Anyway, let me take a look around this car as well, because it's got pretty premium sort of material interiors that they've done. As you can see out here, this is the maddest electric car by far that I have seen. Even they've put up some chargers out here. At the back, you can see there is this strip of light that goes around, something like a Porsche, if you have noticed. So the badging out here, which is the EQC 400 stands for the I'm guessing the power that it produces in the, not the brake horsepower, but the kilowatt, that is 400. So and then there is the 4matic transmission in this. So the whole car looks and feels like pretty up class, you know, pretty premium. And if you see the spoke wheels, they look so cool. I'm a massive fan of the spoke wheels out on this one, and this one, and especially the black color, looks really cool. The next car that particularly is stealing the limelight, to be honest, and one of the best looking cars by far, I think, is this, the Jaguar I-Pace. Jaguar launched this car with all the other manufacturers on the same day. So this particular car has an aluminum chassis. Its complete body is made out of aluminum, and there is only one problem now. Now let me come to that straight away. It's got a range of 270 kilometers. I'm pretty sure it will be increasing over the time, but for now it's just got that one. But it's one of the nicest looking cars. I mean, look at that. Let me take you around and show you the proper. And by the way, this car has been awarded the World Green Car for 2019 by the World Car Awards. Check out the back. It's just insane. It looks mad. I mean, every single detail. There is carbon fiber at the bottom, on the bumper. And the only another issue that I find is this: the rear window is the glass, the rear glass. I'm sorry, the rear glass is actually pretty small, and as a result of that, it may lead to a smaller view in your rear view mirrors. But otherwise, the interiors and everything is plush about this car. I mean, it's just superb. And look at the door handles. So when you unlock, they just come out, and when you lock, they just flush into the body and just become flat. This is one of the nicest looking cars by far in this show. So one of the early adopters of electric car technology were Chevrolet as well, along with Nissan and BMW. So Chevrolet Bolt has been one of their best selling models as well, and apparently they've upgraded the model as well with some new designs and the Bolt EV badging as well. And if you can see the interiors, God, it looks amazing. And even like, this is the car, by the way, which I finally found empty, because apparently the show has been pretty busy. Anyways, let's just continue. So look at that. Look at the dashboard that they've got. I really like this floaty design. Now there's a lot of space at the bottom, and just not a big fan of whatever this design is. But otherwise, the seats are pretty cool. The steering wheel and all of that. So yes, this car produces 204 brake horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque, and it has a range of somewhere between 350 to 400 kilometers, the real values that we are talking about. But that's not bad actually, and considering like this is a tiny car and an everyday car. So just as I was talking about the early adopters of the battery technology, BMW also was one of the early adopters of the battery technology, and i3, the BMW i3 is one of the most top selling model in terms of the EV. So and this is the 2020 model that they've got. So this has a top speed of 160 kilometers, and this car produces 183 brake horsepower, and it's got pretty nice. And if you see, it has two side doors. Only Rolls-Royce offers that, but then apparently even the i3 now. So hey, there you go, one more reason to buy the i3. So it has, although the range hasn't been mentioned out here, the long rear windows as well, although it looks a little out of place, to be honest, in terms of the design, because of the sudden drop in the design. But once you get used to it, I think it's not a bad car. And as you can see, the interiors are pretty amazing. Look at this floating screen inside, and then the standard BMW design interiors, and it's got 4 proper seats. It's not a bad car, and even the materials that they've used out here are pretty plush. Moving at the back, the design remains pretty much same for the 2020 model as well. You get the tail lights, which are pretty much inside the body flush. So you can see it's just, there's a big huge glass that covers the tail lights as well, and a single glass just runs at the back, and at the bottom you get these reflectors at the bottom, and the overall design is it looks pretty neat, you know, the whole black look and just the white bumper at the bottom. The two cars that you see out here are the electric cars. Now GSE is the GSE motor has just entered the UAE market a couple of years back, and after that they've been going pretty strong about introducing all these electric cars that they've been promising, and they've been packed with features. And this particular model, let me start explaining you what it is. So it's an Aeon S. It's a completely electric car, like battery powered car. And let me just come straight to what is special about this car. On top, if you see, they have solar panels mounted. They have freaking solar panels to charge this car. Although I'm pretty skeptical about how quick the charging is going to be. The interior is, the quality is pretty amazing considering it is a Chinese manufacturer, but overall the design is pretty cool. Like everything currently is in Chinese. For some reason they didn't change the language to English, but because this is just the launch model, and then there are not a lot of specs available about the car as well currently, but it's apparently got a 450 kilometer range, and this has a wireless charger, and also this tiny little gear stick, which when I sat there and tried out, it was a little weird, but anyways, otherwise the interiors are pretty good, and it's got this sort of purplish sort of leather and combination of this fake wooden trim out here as well. I'm not a big fan of this color interior, but maybe other colors this might look really good. And at the back, if you can see, there are two proper seats, and also the middle row with the cup holder as well. But the main feature is the solar panels that this car has come with, and at the back you have this big light strip. Now every single manufacturer these days wants to jump onto this sort of design. This looks more like the Dodge, the Challenger kind of design, and then everyone wants to put this single sort of light at the back, and this is like a proper sedan, and maybe this once it's out, maybe we'll know how good this car is. The next vehicle from the GSE Motors lineup is the GE3 350. This is also a fully electric car, but now here are the specs out. Okay, so this produces the electric motor produces power of 132 kilowatt and 290 newton meters of torque. But the important factor, which is the range, because obviously the electric cars have the range, which is very important. Now they have specially mentioned if you drive it at a constant speed of 60 kilometers per hour, then you will get a drive range of 530 kilometers. So that means in the real world conditions, this is somewhere between 350 to 400, which I'm not too sure is a very good amount of range, because check this car out. It's a sort of an MPV or a small SUV or a compact SUV that you can say, and it's a four-wheel drive as well. Now if you look around, there is this badging, and also the blue sort of, apparently blue color is the color for the electric car. So all the manufacturers put blue color everywhere to make sure they just signify the car is an electric car. But there's a little funny design going on at the back. You get this sort of design light, and at the bottom also there are these triangles which are your markers. So it's a very sort of strange looking back end as well. But on the sides, if you see, and let me show you the inside, the problem is that the floor is a little raised. If you see, there is the floor is a little raised, and then somehow funnily they put beige color carpets instead of the black for some reason, and the stitching is also matching with the carpet, so maybe that is the reason why they put. But otherwise there is ample of space behind for three people to sit properly. There is no hunch in the middle, and in the front even the dash has a quite decent sort of, I don't like the brown color straight away, let me tell you that, but it's a very simple looking dashboard also. And in the middle again there is a Chinese language. For some reason they did not change it to English. So these were all the electric cars that were launched or introduced or shown at the Dubai International Motor Show. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure to share and subscribe for more videos to come. Until we meet next time, bye bye.